Maddison.
Our world is changing. 20 years ago, you wouldn't have thought that in the palm of your hand you would have had more computing power than the whole of NASA in 1969 when they sent 2 people to the moon. Google actually existed 20 years ago, but it took another 10 for it to really embed in our lives and become a verb in the dictionary. 10 years ago, we didn't have Spotify, Uber, Airbnb, even iPads. None of that existed 10 years ago. We are in the middle of the 4th industrial revolution. And the 4th industrial revolution is where the fusion of technologies are going to change the way we live and work and interact with each other. And that might scare you, or it might excite you, but it's gonna happen either way. And the ones who have thrived in every revolution are the leaders. So I don't have long up on this stage, so I've cherry-picked one thing which you have to do and have to be a leader in the digital age. But first, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me. So I am Susan Maddison, and a constant source of pride for me is breaking the mold of what it means to be a geek and a leader. I have 18 years of adventures in IT. I've worn many hats. I've worked in small businesses, central government, local government, big international corporates, and hedge funds, and have had a couple of small IT businesses. And I'm a girl geek and tech freak, but I'm an experienced leader. So I want to take you back to the summer of 1998. And I had just finished my GCSEs, and I was in Saudi Arabia for the summer holidays. Now, I'm very smart, so I always had really good grades. But I'm also very naughty. Still am. So I had, during my GCSEs, got suspended a couple times. So my dad had decided that 5 more years of formal education was probably going to be a waste of my time and definitely a waste of his money. So he hatched a plan where I would skip A-levels, uni, and he would teach me his love: information technology, computers, the internet. But he knew that me, a girl, trying to get a job in IT, which 20 years ago was a specialized skill. 60-year-old girl, no A-levels, no degree, trying to get a job. Near on impossible. So his genius idea was for me to have a world record on my CV so that I could get my foot in the door when I was looking for a job. That was his no-nonsense mail solution to my problem, right? But I agreed. So, remember, I was in Saudi Arabia and I'm female. I couldn't attend any training courses. I couldn't even be in my dad's office to use their PCs and play around with a network. So I had to self-study. So my dad got me lots of books, real ones, and gave me 3 PCs, some networking equipment, and a modem. And I studied. It was actually really difficult. And I built a little internet cafe in my bedroom. And because I was in the know, my internet connection bypassed the Saudi firewall, so I was very popular with my friends. But I just want to pause there for a second just to illustrate the advances in the speed of the internet. So I have a question for you. How long would it take you to download 10 songs? 10 MP3s, how long?
5 seconds.
Seconds? 30 minutes? Okay. So my internet connection was via 14K modem. That's 14 kilobits, not megabits per second. And it took 7 days to download 10 MP3s. It's nuts. But anyway, fast forward 9 months of intense self-study. I actually failed exams for the first time ever. It was just so unheard of. But I actually achieved my goal. In March 1999, a 16-year-old girl in Saudi Arabia became the youngest Microsoft certified systems engineer in the world. But that was the easy bit, right? The millennium was approaching, and I had to leave Saudi. I couldn't work there. So I moved to the UK, and I partied like it was 1999. and in the year 2000, I dived straight in to my IT career. And I picked the geeky world of software development. And I was a brave lone tigress in a very male-dominated jungle. And for the last 18 years, I've been a woman in a man's world. In my early 20s, I had to hold my own with men who are twice, maybe 3 times my age. But by my late 20s, I was leading them. One of the most fascinating things I found with my IT career, it started at the dawn of the internet. I've been the consumer, the observer, and the player on court while the World Wide Web has weaved its way into our lives. And as I said in the beginning, it's happening again. So you might think you might need to become an expert in AI, automation, machine learning, blockchain, big data, but it's not necessary. What is necessary, crucial in fact, is mastering your mind so you don't become a mindless sheep controlled by your augmented reality. Or in the context of your jobs and businesses, learning what it takes to be a leader in the digital age so you don't get replaced by a robot in 5 to 10 years. Now, fortunately for us humans, we have something amazing on our side, and that is our brain. The human brain is the most powerful hypercomputer, full stop, or period for the Americans in the room. So, robots so far, they have managed to beat us at chess. They can park cars perfectly. They can analyze your facial expressions. And they can even translate languages real time. But your brain can do all of that simultaneously. Now, I think we're only a few years away from a robot performing as an inspired speaker. But AI has a long way to go before it can mimic common sense or make moral decisions or, really feel another human or possess what all great inventors have, an imagination. In my opinion, I don't think AI is ever truly gonna capture and encode the imagination or the human spirit. So then, how we're gonna live, work, and interact with each other is a bit of an unknown for the next decade. So that makes leadership even more important. Because what leaders do is they thrive in uncertainty, and they drive the change that moves us forward. And the leader does that by having a vision, and they can enroll others in their vision. And they build empowered teams of humans, and they generally care for these humans, and they give them the strategies, the tools, the plan, and the space to make it happen. And while the team is building, they're removing barriers, they're being their shit shield, and they're keeping their eye on the horizon. So, there's one thing which I think all great leaders possess and really understand, and that's the power of belief. And that's what got me through the last 20 years, believing in myself, believing in everything I was doing. But the truth is, I didn't always believe in myself. But thankfully, there are other humans who did. My dad, he believed without a shadow of a doubt that I could self-study to get that IT qualification. Archie Thomas, that was the name of the director of the company who gave me my first job. 18-year-old girl, moved to the UK, no A-levels, no degree, barely a year's coding experience. He believed I could do the job, or at least he believed I could learn very quickly how to do the job. And as a leader, you get to give a beautiful gift every day, and that is belief. Believing in someone, mentoring them, nurturing them, giving them the chance to shine. And it's one of the most rewarding things, gifting self-belief. It's one of my favorite things to do. And that's my mission. I want to create more leaders who have that belief and the mindset and the vision to survive and thrive in this ever-changing world. And this year, I want to get on more stages to share my message of how I think investing in creating leaders is how us humans are going to survive and thrive in this digital age. So if you know any businesses that would benefit or events that would love what I have to share, then please connect with me tonight. And remember, you can be a leader or you can be a robot. Thank you.